In front of Fort Zachary in Key West. Let's go check it out.
This is Fort Zachary Taylor State Park. It covers a total of 54 acres and is a National Historical Landmark that played a significant role in Florida's early development. Construction of the fort began in 1845, shortly after Florida became a state.
Anybody in there?
In 1850, the fortress was named after the U.S. President Zachary Taylor, who died in office earlier that year.
The gates are. This gate is actually literally vibrating. It's kind of weird.
The fort was used during the Civil War period, and then after the Civil War, in 1898, the Spanish War, it was used also very heavily during that time period. And there was reported over 400 people that lost their lives here at Fort Zachary Taylor State Park.
You heard that, but I kept on hearing the sounds of a very, very young girl scream out. And it was echoing from that little area over there. So, play back the tape. Let's make sure that it's there. This is kind of unusual that we're here getting this kind of responses. I don't see anybody over in that area whatsoever. There is nobody there. John Marcar, Hunted Fort Lauderdale. John Marcar here, standing inside of Fort Zachary, and it's very, very dark. In fact, you see, just saw something white move over there.
At Fort Zachary Taylor, they do offer tours throughout the fort, so please take advantage of that. Our tour guide did show us a lot of different points of interest, and he's able to communicate with a lot of different other stories too, as you'll find out later on.
Listed quarters, that was where they lived. The top floor was used for office space and the quarters for the officers. In 1898, the Army comes back to Fort Taylor and decides to modernize the facility, modernize in quotes. The structure itself was in a dilapidated condition. In 1968, the cannon were being excavated by a guy by the name of Howard England, who was a local, and he's in casement number 13 on the south curtain, and he's just discovered the desalination plant. So he's taking some time and enjoying a break. He looks up, and across the room he sees this apparition standing there. This apparition is dressed in a Civil War uniform. It's got sergeant stripes on the sleeves, it's a blue coat, blue pants, and the apparition all of a sudden says, "What be you looking for, Sonny?" Mr. England says, "Well, I'm looking for Cannon." The apparition states who he is, and that he had been at this fort, died in 1862, and suggested that Mr. England begin digging in this room because he will find all kinds of cannon and all kinds of ammunition. Do you believe the word of a ghost? Say, after much trepidation, Mr. England decides to start digging. He uncovers one cannon, he uncovers another cannon, he uncovers ammunition, he uncovers yet another cannon, he uncovers carriage. So what the ghost must have been saying was correct. The information hits the press about the discovery of the cannon and the ammunition. And at the tail end of the newspaper story, it talks about how this discovery was made. 6 weeks later, Mr. England is paid a visit by some folks from Boston, Massachusetts. They wanted to come down personally and thank him for discovering what had happened to a long-lost relative, a guy by the name of Sergeant Wendell Gardner, who served at Fort Taylor in 1862 and died here from the yellow fever. That's who the ghost was. I have seen many, many different things inside this fortress on my own. I cannot explain it. I'm not the only one. and many other people. The times I saw what I saw, there were witnesses with me who saw the same thing. So it's a pretty interesting situation. Don't know how to explain it all. There are spirits here.
Because spirits and ghosts exist.
Yep.
And
We know they're not poltergeists, as it were, because
I think it's quite natural that
Have you seen
that
like
an old soldier
civil
who died here
soldiers?
would be still here.
I've seen 3 Civil War soldiers.
Interesting.
Yeah. So much so that
Thank you for telling me that story.
You're
I
welcome.
appreciate it. Here's my card.
Sure.
I'm the author of the book Haunted Fort Lauderdale.
Oh, very good. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you. And your name is?
Here, I'll give you one of my cards.
Cool. Are you a ranger here?
I'm the park specialist and the historian for the building.
Oh, neat. I'm president of the group SEFGAR, Southeast Florida Ghost Research. We do a lot of research.
We had some ghost hunters come in here 3 years ago, and local folk, and they brought their instruments in, and that's when I saw bunches of stuff. I saw a soldier walking guard inside the sally port, and the girl who was with me was one of the ghost hunters, and so I tap her and say, "Do you see that?" She says, "Yeah." I said, "Do you think I ought to talk to it?" And she says, "Sure, why not?" So I come to attention, snap a salute, and say, "Sergeant, report." And damn if the thing doesn't stop and take a step forward. I'm thinking, oh my God, what have
Is
I
it
done?
daylight or is it night?
Night.
Night. Oh.
And I'm thinking, what have I done? And I salute again, say, "Post is secure," and carry on. The apparition does an about face and dissipates.
Wow.
And the next day I come into the fortress to load up my brochure rack. No one's here, park isn't even open yet. Load my brochure rack, walk across the wooden bridge, and I clearly hear a voice say, "Thank you." And I'm not quite sure what that was all about until I told the story to my kids. My kids suggested that perhaps the apparition was saying thank you for being released from guard duty for 150 years.
Wow.
Could be, I don't know. But it doesn't
Nobody
matter.
told them to leave.
Yeah,
right?
it doesn't matter if it's day or night. There have been many things that have been seen in here that cannot be explained.
Yeah, well, a lot of people have a sense of duty, and a sense of duty makes them want to come back. Sometimes just in visitation, sometimes in residual energy that just keeps on doing the same thing over and over and over and over again.
Yeah.
This one talked to you, so that means it was an intelligent haunt.
Yeah.
So that means that it had a mind, it had its will and its own. So it's finally left. So good. You brought it back home. So that's
I
great,
guess
yeah.
I guess it went back home or
Yeah.
wherever. I don't quite understand all of that stuff, and I need logical explanations for these things, but I haven't found one yet. So.
Well, that's for the skeptics who haven't seen. Bye-bye now.
All right.
Well, you just got a story from Harry Smid, Park Service Specialist for Fort Zachary Taylor Historical State Park. He's one of the tour guides here at Fort Zachary Park, and it's kind of neat because amongst all of this creepiness, there might be a Civil War soldier right around the corner. Hi, you just heard a story from HauntedForLauderdale.com. Well, that was a very successful tour here at Fort Zachary, Key West, Florida. We got a ghost story from one of our tour guides, so that was pretty neat. And plus, we got a lot of nice pictures of some outside window scenery area. I love those vignette type styles that I have. As you see, there's the iron